All right, so thanks for jumping into the slow flow today. We'll just take a moment to kind of get centered and grounded, and I know some folks are still rolling into the Zoom meeting here. So as we're gathering together, let's just take a moment to sit in any way that's comfortable for you. It could be sitting on the floor. You could even sit on a chair for now if that felt more useful. And then you might like to close your eyes. You might like to take a soft gaze with your eyes. Let's just take a moment and take a few intentional breaths. So just inhaling and exhaling with awareness, just whatever breath feels natural. And as you're taking those grounding breaths, you might lean a little bit forward or a little bit backward, maybe even side to side, just starting to notice where you are right now. Really noticing where you are from the inside out, if possible. And as you take your next few breaths, I just want to invite you to explore breathing in and out through the nose. Breathing in and out through the nose, and either taking a steady gaze with the eyes or closing the eyes. And so you just make this gesture of shifting awareness inward. And as you do that, it's a really simple but a really powerful gesture. You might just exhale, get a little softer, and just sense what it feels like to be here. So wherever you are, just sensing from the inside out, what does it feel like to be here? And then take another breath, just inhaling and exhaling. So as you notice where you are, what it feels like to be here, you might also take a moment to sense what matters to you right now. Why are you here? Showing up for this yoga class, and maybe you're not sure, and that's 100% fine. You just ask the question. So really what's important about intention is asking the question, being interested, offering that kind of kind and caring attention inside. So I just want to invite you, I'll try to remind you again and again to come back to that. Just that simple quality of interest and care. So we'll keep breathing here if you can, breathing in and out through the nose. And I find that it's really grounding to organize awareness in a yoga practice really to the midline. And so that actually, the way it's been taught to me by different teachers, that midline awareness really comes from the breathing. So you just meet yourself right where you are, and whatever level of subtlety feels available, you just engage with that. So let's breathe a few rounds of breath together again, just intentional breath through the nose. Maybe you can feel a slight constriction in the back of the throat, and then the breath has more of a sound like the ocean. Feeling that constriction in the back of the throat, some spaciousness to the soft palate, the inside of the mouth. Maybe bringing the tip of the tongue to the space behind the upper teeth. Breathing in and out through the nose, feeling that constriction in the throat, and then maybe feeling the movement of your torso, that expansion and contraction of your ribs and chest, of your belly as well. Natural expansion on the inhale, natural contraction on the exhale. It might be possible to feel or sense the location of your pubic bone, tailbone, and sitting bones. And maybe with your next exhale, you knit those areas together and draw in below the navel. And then release that as you inhale. Repeat that a time or two if that's possible for you, or just meeting yourself at whatever level you're at with that awareness. And then, if possible, maintaining a little bit of that drawing in below the navel and lifting of the pelvic floor even as you inhale. So there's a sense of containment below the navel and lengthening through the crown with both the inhale and the exhale. Next time you exhale, let's just bow our head down, and if your eyes were closed, just blink the eyes open. And then let's just lift the gaze forward, and from here, we're just gonna bring our palms to touch each other. So just bringing the palms together, and as you inhale, press the palms and broaden the collarbones, sitting up really nice and tall. And as you exhale, interlace the fingers, press the palms forward and broaden the back. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead, maybe lift the gaze and look up. And then exhale, reach the arms wide and down to the sides. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, palms together, broaden the collarbones. Exhale, slide the fingers between one another, press the palms forward and broaden the back. And then inhale, lift the arms up, follow with the gaze, breathing in. And then reaching the arms wide and down as you exhale. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, palms together, just expanding, lengthening. Interlacing fingers, exhale, maybe you round your back and bow your head a little bit, pressing palms forward. And then inhale, rolling over the sitting bones, lifting the arms and looking up. And exhale, just reach the arms wide and down. Good, let's just pause and just notice where you are. What does it feel like to be here right now? Good, let's roll down onto our back. So roll down onto your back, and when you do, just outstretch your legs onto the floor in front of you. So the legs are outstretched and hugging together. And then interlace the fingers and reach the arms away from the legs. And take a breath or 2 or 3 just to lengthen from the feet to the hands. As you're lengthening, can you draw down to the belly, to the midline? So the navel is drawing up and in. Perhaps you can locate pubic bone, tailbone, sitting bones, and knit those areas together. Take another breath, inhaling. And then let's bring both knees into our chest as we exhale slowly. So just hugging the knees in, and maybe you rock a little bit, make circles with your knees. Maybe you just hug them in. Inhaling and exhaling here. Good. Let's take a pause with the knees hugging in, just a full exhale. And then we'll place the soles of the feet on the floor. We're going to take the right ankle on top of the left thigh. So just for a little bit of a hip stretch, you can stay right there, or you can hug your legs in and clasp your hands behind your left leg. Take a breath. So even just right here, right? Again, you can pause, feel the support of the floor, notice the movement of your breath, and then sense for a moment just what it feels like to be here, just holding that space for yourself, that really interested and caring kind of attention. Let's take another full exhale here. And then place the left foot down, place the right foot down, and switch sides. So left ankle to the right thigh. You can stay right there, you can hug the legs in. So again, just breathing in, breathing out, repeating that natural cycle of breath a time or 2, and just sensing for a moment. What does it feel like? And maybe you even sense or honor for a moment whatever it is that brought you here today, just that encouraged you to tune into this class. Really acknowledging that, honoring that motivation. Let's place the right foot down, place the left foot down. And then we're just going to reach the right leg up and reach the right leg up and just circling the ankle. So just circling your foot around a few times in one direction. And then maybe switching direction, circling the other way. Keep breathing, just a steady, spacious rhythm of breath. Then pause the circling of the foot, circle the whole leg. So I'm pointing my toes kind of like I'm drawing a circle on the ceiling. And just circling around, kind of mobilizing your hip a little bit. You're stabilizing here also with your belly to the floor. Take another circle that direction, then switch. Just a few times the other way. They can be tiny circles, they can be big circles, whatever feels useful to you. Let's take a pause, just reach that leg up. Maybe you clasp your hands behind your leg. I'm gonna stretch my left leg out onto the floor. And then bow my head to my right knee. So I'm lifting my head up, drawing my belly down. And then resting the head down and placing the right foot on the ground. Let's bring the left leg up, reach the left leg up. And then just circling the foot. So circling your ankle a few times, one direction. And then switching directions. So just starting to mobilize your ankle, even your toes a little bit here. And then let's circle the whole leg, just either direction. Circles can be any size, whatever feels useful. And then let's switch directions. So just a few times each direction. And we'll come back to the center. So I'm just going to clasp onto my left leg. Leg is reaching up to the ceiling. I prefer to have my right leg outstretched, but you can keep it right where it is. And then I'm going to lift and bow my head to my knee and draw the head and shoulders up as the belly drops down to the ground. Take a full breath if you're bowing, exhale. And then rest the head down and then hug both knees in again. Just take a breath or two, rocking side to side. All right, let's place the soles of our feet onto the floor. And we'll bring the feet about hip distance apart. So we're just going to pause right here again, just feeling the feet on the ground. What does that feel like for a moment? And then just imagine or feel as you breathe that location of the pubic bone, tailbone, sitting bones. Could you imagine knitting those points together and lifting up, maybe drawing in below the navel, but not so much that you flatten your lower back. So keeping the natural curve at the lower back as you engage pelvic floor and low belly. Use your next inhale to lift the hips up any amount. So it could be an inch, it could be 5 inches, right? Feel the strength of the legs. So using the backs and the fronts of the legs to lift the hips here without losing that connection to the breath. So one thing to look for if you're in any pose and there's a sense of sharpness or pain or pinching, usually that's going to get in the way of the breath. So you want to do what you can to alleviate that discomfort and then come wholeheartedly back to the breath. Take another inhale and then exhale, lower all the way down. Let's just pause for a full breath in, full breath out, just reconnecting. And then come back again. Pubic bone, tailbone, sitting bones, knit together, draw in below navel, and inhale, lift the hips up. Inhale, lift the hips up. You might choose to rock your upper arms underneath you and interlace your fingers. Use your legs to ground and support yourself. Find your midline as you breathe. Let the front, back, and the sides be spacious. Take another inhale. And then lower all the way down as you exhale. Just pause for a full breath in and out. And then one more time into Setu Bandhasana. Let's inhale, lift up. Maybe you interlace your fingers underneath you, broaden the collarbones, lift the hips, breathing here. Right, so it's simple, but let the simplicity of it be an invitation to feel or sense a little bit more deeply into your own experience, to really honor your motivation. Take another inhale, and then exhale, lower all the way down. Good, let's just pause. Take the feet as wide as the mat, or maybe just a little wider than your hips, and drop the knees together, and just take a breath in and a breath out. Just notice where you are. Get oriented on the inside, get oriented on the outside. From here, we're going to lift our legs. So shins are parallel to the floor and knees are bent about 90 degrees. So right away, when you lift your legs like this, you're going to feel your low belly, your abdomen has to engage a little bit. So if you're able to feel into the subtleties, if you can locate your pubic bone, tailbone, sitting bones, knit those points together and lift up. See if you can imagine drawing in below the navel without really flattening the lower back and without thickening the belly up towards the ceiling. From here, let's reach our arms overhead and bring the palms to touch each other. And then as you exhale, lift and reach to the outside of your right leg. So left arm comes to the outside, draw the navel down. Inhale, lie back down, reach the arms overhead. Really deeply connecting to midline as you exhale, lift and reach to the left. And we'll continue like this. Inhale, lie down, arms reach away. Exhale, lift and reach to the right. The legs are gently hugging together here. Inhale, lie down. Exhale, lift and reach to the left. Inhale, lie down again. Keep that breath steady. Exhale to the right. Again, inhale, lie down. Exhale to the left. We're going to do this one more time on each side, but we're going to hold for an extra breath. So exhale, lift and reach to the right. Hug the legs together, draw the belly down, stay for an inhale. Reach a little further as you exhale. And then inhale, lie down again. And one more time to the left. And we're going to hold. So belly is drawn down. Arms are reaching next to the leg. One more exhale. And then inhale, lie down. Exhale, feet to the floor. Let's place the feet a little wider than the hips and touch the knees together. Let this be a moment to pause and just feel. Just be interested and kind to yourself right here. Take a full exhale, just softening. And then let's take the knees apart. Turn the toes away from each other. The feet are about as wide as the mat. Tip your knees like windshield wipers to the right. And stretch your left arm overhead if it's not already. You might choose to place the right hand on belly to really feel your breath as you breathe here. Lengthening the left side. If possible, really let the head and shoulders be heavy. And allow the breath to be spacious for a moment as you rest here. One more exhale. And then back to the center as you inhale. Let's switch our hands and switch our knees. So knees tip to the left, right arm reaching overhead, maybe left hand on belly. Take a full, deep, spacious breath. One more exhale, really softening the head and shoulders down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, pause. So we're going to do one more kind of midline connector exercise before we come up. So let's lift the shins again, or lift the legs again into that like a 90-degree bend at the knee and shins parallel. Cross the right thigh on top of the left thigh, and either keep the legs just like that, or tuck the right toes behind the left ankle. And then let the arms wrap. So the right arm comes under the left arm, and you either just give yourself a hug, or you wrap your forearms and bring right fingertips to left palm. You might stay still and just breathe here and find that midline connection with breath, that pelvic floor and low belly. Maybe you inhale, move elbows and knees away from each other. Exhale, curl and bring elbows and knees together. Again, inhale, opening that space if you're choosing to move right now. Exhale, lift and curl together. One more time, inhale, opening up that space. Exhale, lift and curl. Stay in the lifted position for an inhale and an exhale. And then inhale, lie down, release the arms and legs. Feet to the floor. Inhale and exhale, just pause. Right, just take a moment to just notice where you are. Be interested and kind to yourself in this moment. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So lifting the legs, crossing the left thigh on top of the right thigh, maybe hooking the toes behind the ankle. Crossing the left arm under the right arm, either for a hug or wrapping the arms. Again, you could stay still just with the arms and legs wrapped and hugging together, or you can inhale, open up that space. Exhale, curl together. Inhale, opening up, lengthening belly. Exhale, curling, drawing navel down. Again, one more time and we'll hold for that extra breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, curl together. Stay for a breath, squeeze the arms and legs. One more exhale. And then inhale, release the arms, release the legs, feet to the floor, and Pause, take a full exhale. All right, so we're gonna hug our knees in, either roll to the side or come up over your crossed ankles and come onto your hands and knees for a moment. So just go ahead and rise up, either onto the hands and knees or, well, either way onto the hands and knees. So you might choose to put a pillow or a blanket under your knees for a little bit of extra support. Go ahead and take a moment for that if that feels useful. And then let's just come into a few rounds of cat, cow, or really any spinal movements that would feel useful to you. So the easiest kind of way to start is just come onto your hands and knees, inhale, arch your back and look up. And then exhale, curl and bow and round your back and scoop your belly up and in. And then repeat that a couple more times. So inhale, arching, looking up, lengthening. Exhale, curling, bowing, rounding the back. Let's just do that one more time. Inhale, arching, lifting up, looking up. Exhale, curling, bowing, rounding the back. Good, just come into neutral. Inhale and exhale, pause. Okay, so let's bring our forearms to the floor. We're gonna come right into forearm plank. So forearms down, step the feet back. Come into forearm plank, take a few breaths. Find your legs, find your arms right here. So we're gonna do this a little bit differently than other times because we're gonna come from forearm plank into forearm side plank onto our right arm. So if possible, roll onto your right forearm. I'm gonna swing my forearm now so it's parallel to the top of my mat and lift my hips up. Maybe lift that left arm up, maybe even reach it overhead. Take another inhale. And then exhale, come back to forearm plank. Let's do the same thing on the other side, rolling to the left side. Take a moment, maybe swing your forearm so it's parallel to that top edge of your mat, and maybe lift your right arm. Take a full breath, maybe reach that right arm overhead. One more inhale, and then back to forearm plank as you exhale. Take one more breath here, and then lower your hips down. So forearms stay on the mat now, parallel to each other. For Sphinx pose, hug the legs in, draw in below the navel, broaden the collarbones. A full breath right here. As you exhale, lower all the way down. Maybe rest your head to the side or forehead down. Full breath, inhale, full breath, exhale. So we're going to repeat that one more time and just take your time in the transitions. Just really take your time. So let's rise again from here into forearm plank. So first, just tucking the elbows under the shoulders, lift up onto the toes and breathe right here. Feeling your arms and legs, lifting the inner thighs, broadening the collarbones. Can you find your midline here as you breathe? Let's roll onto the right side. So I'm going to roll onto the outer edge of my right foot, swing my right forearm so it's parallel to the top edge of the mat, and then maybe lift the left arm. Take a breath. See if you can be a little more spacious with that inhale. And then exhale back to forearm plank, both forearms parallel. And let's do the other side. So take your time, rolling to the left, swinging that forearm, maybe lifting that right arm up. You could reach the right arm overhead as you breathe in, and then come back to forearm plank as you breathe out. One more inhale, just grounding in forearm plank, and then lower the hips down one more time for Sphinx pose. So hug the legs, reach back and down, lift the belly a little bit, and then broaden the collarbones here. One more inhale. Exhale, you're just gonna lower down and rest for a moment. So I like to turn my head to the side. You might like to have your forehead down. Just take a full breath in and a full breath out, softening. One more full exhale, just really sensing where you are on the inside, where you are on the outside. Offering that kind and interested attention. From here, we're gonna rise either into tabletop on hands and knees or into high plank. And then we're gonna move into downward facing dog or child's pose. So either way, downward dog or child's pose, and you might choose to do a little bit of both. Totally fine to do a little bit of both, right? Just wherever you are, see if you can take a moment, really connect with your breath. So let the breath, the subtle quality of the breath, guide you to the midline. So you sense the back of the throat, the torso, the ribs, the belly, maybe even the pelvic floor. Let's take another full breath, exhaling wherever you are. If you're in child's pose, you might briefly come through downward dog, and then we're gonna walk the feet towards the hands and come halfway up on the inhale. So really enjoy that breath. You can bend your knees as much as needed. Exhale, bow all the way over the legs. Again, legs can be bent or straight or wherever they need to be. Stand up and lift the arms and follow with the gaze as you breathe in. And then just bring your arms down as you breathe out. Good, let's just pause and find a really nice upright standing posture. So you might even just take a moment, see what feels most grounding for you to have your feet together, your feet slightly apart, and then just actually feel the feet. So you might even lift and spread your toes. Place the toes down, maybe shift the weight a little forward, a little back, and just find that really balanced center right here. It's always a beautiful place to start. So taking some breaths here, breathing through the nose if you can, feeling the sensation of that breath coming through the nostrils, across the back of the throat, into the torso, maybe all the way down to the pelvic floor. A little sense, a gentle sense of the legs hugging together to enhance that awareness of breath to the midline. We're just going to do a few rounds of a half sun salutation, starting with a side bend. So let's inhale, lift both arms and maybe look up. And then exhale, just drop the right arm as you breathe out. Good, lengthening the left side on the inhale, and then leaning to the right as you exhale, any amount. Hug your legs together, inhale, lift the right arm, maybe look up. Exhale, drop the left arm. So that's all we do on the exhalation. The inhale is lengthening the right side. The exhale is leaning to the left. Use your inhale with your legs hugging in and pressing down to lift the left arm and maybe look up. And this time, exhale, bow over your legs. So folding all the way down. Inhale, lengthen and look up, come halfway up. Exhale, bow all the way down again. Standing up, lifting the arms and looking up as you inhale, and then just bringing the arms down, exhale. We're gonna repeat that 2 more times. Inhale, lift the arms and look up. Just drop the right arm as you exhale. That lengthening breath, hug the legs in, lengthen the left side. Exhale, lean to the right, any amount. Good, inhale, hug in and press down with the legs to reach the right arm up and look up. And then exhale, drop the left arm. Inhale, lengthening the right side. Exhale, leaning to the left. Use your legs to help you come back up on an inhale, maybe look up. And then exhale, this time bow over the legs. It's okay to bend the knees any amount, bowing forward. Hug the legs together, lengthen the belly as you breathe in and come halfway up. And then exhaling all the way down. Belly lifts as the head comes down. Inhale, hugging the legs in, pressing down to rise all the way up and maybe look up. And then just arms to your sides, exhale. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, lifting up, getting taller. Exhale, right arm dropping down. Inhale, lengthening left side from your hugging to the midline. Exhale, leaning to the right. Hug the legs in, inhale, lift the right arm and look up. And exhale, just drop the left arm. Inhale, hugging in, lengthening, reaching up. Exhale, leaning to the left. Good, hugging in to rise all the way up. Inhale, left arm lifts, look up. Exhale, bow forward over the legs, all the way down. Just come halfway up, hug the legs in, lengthen the belly, look up. Exhale, deep lift below the navel as you bow your head all the way down. Inhale, stand all the way up. Let the arms reach up and look up. And just bring your arms down. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, pause. We're going to add more movements and keep flowing. So as you breathe in, let's lift the arms and look up again. Maybe you lean back a little bit. Exhale, bow forward over the legs. Deep lift below the navel. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthening, looking up. Fingertips down, step the right foot back. And so you're in a low lunge. As you inhale, sink the hips forward, broaden the chest, look up. As you exhale, squeeze your legs together, round your back, and bow your head to your left knee. Inhale again, legs stretch away from each other, hips sink forward, chest lifts up. Exhale, squeeze the legs together, kind of like we're doing cat-cow, curling in. One more lengthening breath as you inhale, and then hands down, step to high plank as you exhale. From here, roll over the toes. It's okay to touch the knees down if you wish. Lift to up dog, inhale. And then either child's pose or down dog as you exhale. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Take that breath really to orient yourself here, to notice where you are on the inside, notice where you are on the outside. Just make that really kind and interested gesture to yourself. One more exhale here. And then let's press, lift, and reach the right leg up and back as you breathe in. Bring the right foot forward between the hands as you breathe out, up on the fingertips maybe. Inhale, sink the hips forward, broaden the collarbones, look up. Exhale, squeeze the legs together, scoop the belly, bow the head to the right knee. Inhale, lengthening, sinking the hips forward, reaching the left heel back, maybe looking up. Exhale, squeezing the legs together, scooping the belly, bowing the head. One more lengthening inhale, sinking forward, broadening the chest. And then exhale, step the left foot forward and fold over the legs. As you inhale, just come halfway up, a full breath, lengthening your spine. And then bow all the way over the legs, lift the belly deeply as the head comes down. Inhale, rise up from the legs, hugging together and pressing down, maybe looking up. And then just bring your arms down, exhale. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bow forward. Hug the legs in, lengthen as you inhale. Fingertips down, left foot back first this time, exhale. Inhale, the hips sink, the chest lifts, look up. Exhale, the legs squeeze, the belly lifts, the head bows. Again, inhale, sinking, lengthening, looking up. Exhale, squeezing, curling, bowing the head. One more lengthening breath as you inhale. And then hands to the floor, step the right foot into high plank as you exhale. Roll over the toes, lift the chest up, hug the upper arms in, inhale, up dog. And then exhale, either child's pose or downward facing dog for a full breath in, full breath out. See if you can let your head be heavy and your belly be light. Let's inhale, press, lift, and reach the left leg up and back. And then pull the left foot forward, place it between the hands, exhale, up on the fingertips. One more time, sinking hips, lifting chest, reaching back with the right heel, inhale. Exhale, squeeze together, draw in below the navel, bow the head. Again, inhale, sinking, lengthening, opening up. Exhale, squeezing, curling, bowing, rounding. One more lengthening breath as you breathe in. And then step the right foot forward and fold over the legs as you breathe out. Come halfway up, breathing in, lengthening. And then bow all the way down. Belly is lifting as the head comes down. Inhale, stand all the way up. Let the arms reach and the gaze follow. And then just bring the arms down, exhale. You're going to flow a little bit more, doing a variation of sun salutation V. Let's start with Utkatasana. So that means the knees will bend any amount and the arms lift as you inhale. Exhale, bow forward over the legs. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthening. Exhale, hands down, step to high plank. Inhale into upward dog, so rolling over the toes, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, either child's pose or downward facing dog. Let's take the right leg, reach it up and back as you breathe in. Bring the right foot between the hands, drop the left foot 45 degrees as you breathe out. Let's climb hands up onto the right thigh and pause. Maybe you choose to lift your arms overhead as you breathe in. Stay here for an exhale. Reach into your left foot. Lift up through your fingertips as you inhale. And then exhale, bring the hands down and step to downward facing dog. Of course, you can add movements like plank to upward dog if you wish. Take a full cycle of breath, just lengthening, reconnecting in downward dog, sensing that quality of being oriented internally and externally. Just that really interested and caring kind of attention. Let's take the left foot, reach it up and back as you inhale, and then pull the left foot between the hands, place it down, drop the right foot, exhale. Climb up onto the left thigh, maybe palms down on the thigh and just pause. You're welcome to lift your arms overhead if you wish. Stay here for a breath. Feel your right foot draw in below the navel and reach through the arms as you inhale. And then exhale, bring the hands down and step to downward dog or plank, upward dog, and then downward facing dog. Take a full deep breath in, full deep breath out. One more exhale. See if you can really locate your pubic bone, tailbone, sitting bones, knit together and draw in below the navel, reaching with the arms and legs. And then bring the feet to the hands and inhale, lengthen, come halfway up. Exhale, bow over the legs all the way. We're gonna bend the knees any amount, lift the arms and look up, inhale. And then back into standing as you exhale. One more time, inhale, bend the knees, lift the arms and look up. Exhale, bow forward over the legs. Just find your rhythm here. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, step to high plank. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into down dog. Right leg lifts up. Inhale, full breath. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands, drop the left foot. Rise up, maybe hands on the right thigh and pause. Maybe you lift the arms all the way up and overhead. One slight variation here, if your arms are lifted, as you exhale, drop the right arm down, reach up through the left arm and back through the left leg, and then maybe lean to the right a little bit, so it's just a little bit of a side bend. As you inhale, hug your legs together, lift your right arm up and look up. And then exhale, bring the hands down, step to downward dog or plank to upward dog to downward facing dog. Let's take that full breath, just pausing in dog pose. One more time to the other side. Inhale, left leg reaching up. Exhale, bring that left foot between the hands, drop the right foot. Rise just with the hands onto the left thigh and maybe pause there. Maybe you go ahead and reach up right away, lifting up, looking up. Again, same variation. We're going to take the left arm and drop it down. And then you reach back into your right foot, reach up through the right arm, and maybe a little bit of leaning to the left. Take another full exhale here, drawing in below navel. Use your legs squeezing together to lift your left arm on an inhale. And then hands down and either right into downward dog or exhaling to high plank, inhaling to up dog, and then exhaling either downward dog or child's pose. Take a full breath here in and out. See if you can just connect in a way that is steady and attentive, interested, and also sweet and caring and kind, just really responsive. Go deeper to the midline, see if you can get a little more spacious to the periphery. Let's bring the feet to the hands and come halfway up as you breathe in. And then all the way down as you breathe out. All the way down. Let's bend the knees and lift the arms and look up into Utkatasana. Inhale. And then back into standing as you exhale. We're going to do another standing sequence from downward dog. So inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, bow over the legs. Inhale, lengthen and come halfway up. You can step right back to downward facing dog, or you can step to high plank. And then inhale, up dog, and then exhale, down dog. Take a full breath here. We're going to press, lift, and reach the right leg up and back as you inhale. Bend the knee, roll the hip open as you exhale. Stretch that right leg up and back as you breathe in, and then bring that right foot between the hands as you breathe out. Drop the left foot. So we're going to rise into warrior two. So coming all the way up. This time the arms are outstretched, and maybe you gaze to your right fingertips. I sometimes like to exhale and just bring hands to the hips to help find that engagement of pelvic floor and low belly. Stand up a little taller, sink into the legs, and then inhale, outstretch the arms. As you exhale, bring your right forearm to thigh and reach your left arm overhead. Take an inhale here, exhale into extended side angle. As you inhale, rise back into warrior two, and then exhale, reverse warrior. Left hand down, right arm up. Take an inhale here, exhale, sink in, and then inhale back to warrior two. This time, exhale, hands come down to frame your right foot, roll up onto your left toes. Take your left hand to the floor, right hand comes to your hip or reaches up for a low lunge twist. Press into the feet. See if you can hug your legs together. Find your low belly drawing in, and then expand as you take another inhale. And then exhale, right hand down, step back to downward facing dog. Take a full cycle of breath, just heavy head, light belly, really coming back to the midline for a moment. Same thing, other side. Let's take the left leg, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bend the knee, roll the hip open. Inhale, stretching that leg up, drawing in with the front ribs and the low belly. And then exhale, step that left foot between the hands, drop the right foot. Let's rise into warrior two as we inhale. Maybe you'd like to just pause and bring hands to your hips as you exhale and just see if you can feel your legs, your low belly drawing in, broadening through the armpit chest, and then naturally outstretching the arms and gaze into the left fingertips. Inhale here. Exhale, left forearm to thigh, right arm overhead for extended side angle. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, grounding here. Inhale, rise back into warrior two. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up to reverse warrior. Take a breath in, lengthening from the low belly. Stay here as you exhale. And then inhale back to warrior two. This time, exhale, hands to the floor, roll up onto the right toes. Left hand to left hip, maybe left arm reaches up into this low lunge twist. Hugging the legs, drawing in below the navel, opening and broadening across the chest. If you can, take another inhale. Exhale, bring the left hand down. Let's step back to downward dog or up dog and then down dog. Take a full, deep, spacious breath here. Reconnect for a moment. Notice where you are from the inside out. Just offering that kind and interested attention. Let's bring feet to the hands and come halfway up as you inhale. Bow all the way down as you exhale. Let's stand up and lift the arms as you inhale. Maybe look up. And then just bring the arms down, exhale. Good, let's step the feet wide apart, just turning to the side. And then inhale, outstretch your arms. So you're just in a really wide open, spacious position. Exhale, bring hands together behind the back, interlace the fingers. Press into the feet. So even though your feet are wide apart, almost as if you could imagine them hugging together just a little bit to help lift below the navel and broaden a little bit more through the chest. And then exhale, bowing over the legs. Your hands might stay resting on your lower back. They might drop overhead. Whatever feels useful, where you can come back to your breath, make that connection. Inhale and exhale here. Another full cycle of breath. Good, let's take one more full, deep, spacious exhale. Light belly, heavy head. And then let's inhale, rise all the way up, let the arms reach wide. And then just bring hands to hips, exhale. Let's turn the feet, the toes out and the heels in. With the hands on the hips for now, just push your hands on your hip points. See if you can feel that narrowing of the hip points as you draw in below the navel. Inhale here, exhale, sit down a little bit. Any amount you can sit down. So even here, feel into your legs. Can that gentle hugging of the feet together help awaken a little more subtlety in the breath as you go to the midline? Let's outstretch the arms, inhale, bend the elbows, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up, opening up the sides of the body. Exhale, bend the elbows, sink in, draw in below the knee. Inhale, just the arms, reaching up. Exhale, sinking down, bending the elbows, drawing in below the navel. One more time, inhale. Exhale, sink down, bend the knees, bend the elbows. Another breath, stay right here, broadening the collarbones. And then inhale, straighten the arms and legs. Let's fold back over the legs one more time. So turn the feet parallel or slightly in, and exhale, fold. This time, just hands to the floor. Knees can be bent any amount. Take a full breath. See if you can bow your head and just soften. Maybe you grab opposite elbows for another full breath. You might even choose to bend one leg as you straighten the other, and then switch to the other side. Let's make our way back to the center with the next breath or two. And then just come halfway up as you inhale. Knees can be bent any amount. Exhale, stay there, and then hands to the hips, and inhale, rise all the way up. Good, we're gonna step our feet together and come back to our mat, top of our mat, or wherever you'd like to be. Feet together, arms down. You can do a standing balance before we really come down and cool down. So let's bring the palms to touch each other. Right, just let your gaze be steady. So find a steady gaze with your eyes. Take a moment, just really coming back to the breath. So just an intentional breath or two with whatever amount of subtlety you can feel that breath, right? Maybe through the nostrils, across the back of the throat, into the torso, maybe down to the pelvic floor. Let's peel the right heel up off the floor and then turn the right knee and toes out to the right. So we're moving into tree pose. You could stay right here, or you can lift your right foot anywhere above or below your knee and just stay here and breathe. So just finding that steady, steadiness on the left leg, steadiness with the breath. Right? Steadiness and sweetness with intention. So there is this interest, this wakefulness, but also this kind of care, this open-heartedness that you offer to yourself right here. Maybe you feel steady enough that you'd like to lift your arms overhead. Just find your breath, notice where you are. Can you just let that be the most important thing? Take another full breath here, inhale. And then if your arms are lifted, just bring your palms back in as you exhale. We'll all release that right leg with an inhale, and maybe foot down, arms down, exhale. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Drawing that left, or actually let's start with palms together, right? Palms together and just settling your gaze. Just take a breath, settle your eyes, and bring your palms together, feeling sensation in the hands and feet. Let's lift the left heel, turn the left knee and toes out, and then you decide you could stay right there, or you can lift your left foot anywhere above or below that right knee, and then just find again some breath, some steadiness, some sweetness. So you're really attentive and really caring at the same time, just letting that be the centerpiece, the attitude that you bring onto your mat. Maybe you let the arms reach up if you feel steady, and breathing here. Good, take another inhale. And then maybe if your arms are lifted, bring your palms back in. Good, let's all release that left foot as we inhale. And foot down, arms down, exhale. All right, so we're gonna make our way into seated. Of course, you can just sit down. I'm gonna call us through a vinyasa to sit down. So as you inhale, the arms lift and the gaze follows. As you exhale, bow forward over the legs. As you breathe in, just come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, step to high plank. Inhale, lift into upward dog. Exhale, roll back to downward facing dog. Let's bring our right shin forward, left shin forward, and drop your bottom down. You can also just touch your knees down, swing your legs around, and come into seated. Let's outstretch the legs. It doesn't mean they have to be straight, but just reaching the legs out, finding your midline. So a little bit of hugging the legs, drawing in below the navel. And then let's start to lengthen over the legs as we inhale and exhale, bow. So there's just however much lengthening you can find over the legs and bowing. So again, you might just pause as you're moving into this seated forward bend and just notice what it feels like. Right? Get oriented inside and outside and just really bring that attentive, kind, and interested awareness. Take another full exhale. Let's start to rise up. So as you rise, you can hug your legs together, drop your tailbone down, and start to rise all the way up. The next pose we're going to come into is either you're going to keep your bottom on the ground with your legs outstretched and your hands behind your back, or you're going to walk your feet in and then inhale, actually lift your hips up and tip your head back. So this is either reverse tabletop or reverse plank with our bottom on the ground. Take another inhale here, and then exhale, bring your bottom down if it came up. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, the knees apart for Baddha Konasana. And we're just gonna keep our spine relatively neutral for Baddha Konasana, which might mean that you actually stay sitting more upright than leaning forward, but just finding your own way here. I really like to feel or imagine, just like we would in a standing pose, the legs kind of hugging together to help find that lift below the navel here. And then a little bit of softness as the knees, the thighs lengthen out away from the hip joints. Take another full exhale wherever you are. And then we'll inhale, rise all the way up. And just close the knees, bring the knees up together as you exhale. So let's walk our hands back behind you a little bit. And then you just tip your knees to the right. You might take your left arm and sweep it across and then slide it back and come into like a little bit of a twist. And then inhale, come back to the center, onto the soles of your feet. Switching sides, drop the knees to the left, sweep the right arm across, and then slide it back behind you as you draw in below your navel. Let's come back to the center again, inhale. We'll do this one more time to each side, turning to the right, sweep the left arm across and curl. And then back to center, inhale. One more time, over to the left, tipping the knees, sweeping the right arm and curling. Good, let's come back to center. And then we're gonna scoot forward a little bit and lie all the way down onto our backs. So lying down again. Let's lie down and bring the feet as wide as the yoga mat and the knees together for a moment. Okay, so just lying down with the feet wide, the knees together, maybe placing a hand on the belly and a hand on the heart. Take an intentional breath or two, just getting oriented inside and outside. So really sensing with that interested and kind attention. You might even take a moment with your hands touching your torso to really convey that intention in some way. Just conveying the message of that interested and caring attention. So we're just going to do a couple more things before we totally rest. A few things that we did at the beginning. Okay, so let's bring the arms to our sides, bring our feet a little bit more like hip distance apart. We're going to take our breath in, so we're going to lift the hips up like we did at the beginning into bridge pose. And maybe you choose to interlace your fingers underneath you, maybe not. So feeling your legs, heels pushing down, pits of the knees moving forward, knitting together pubic bone, tailbone, sitting bones, drawing in below navel. Take another inhale here. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Just pause with a breath in and out. And then again, we're going to lift up, inhale. So lifting the hips again, maybe rocking the upper arms under you. Broadening the collarbones, energizing the legs. Come back to the breath. Just let the breath be the most natural way of connecting to and conveying intention. Inhale here. Exhale, release all the way down. Pause and rest as you inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhaling, lifting up. Any height, any amount, just feeling the energy of your legs kind of hugging together and engaging to support that belly, that midline connection, and then let the breath actually respond by being more spacious. Take another inhale, and then exhale, lower down, pause and rest with the feet wide and the knees together. Let the back of the head, the backs of the shoulders, the back of the hips be fully supported by the earth. Okay, one more thing. Let's bring the legs up into that shins parallel, knees 90 degrees position. Bring the arms overhead, palms together. Just a few more rounds of this. So right here, hug your legs together, draw in below the navel. Inhale, lengthening torso. Exhale, lifting, reaching to the right side with your arms. Inhale, lie down, arms reach away from the legs. Exhale, lift and reach to the left. Inhale, lie down. Exhale, lift and reach to the right. Draw the navel down. Inhale, lie down. Exhale, lift and reach to the left. One more time to each side. Inhale. Exhale, lift to the right. Inhale, lie down. Exhale, lift and reach to the left. Inhale, lie down. And exhale, touch your feet down. Just pause and notice what it feels like to be here right now. Just right where you are. Just the noticing, just being interested and kind with yourself in the moment. It's really a deep way of honoring your journey, just wherever you are on that journey right now. Let's hug the knees in. Take a little bit of happy baby, maybe grabbing the soles of the feet, letting the knees come wide and rocking side to side. And then eventually I'd like you to land in a place where you can rest for a few minutes, completely rest. So you might just rest lying down on the floor. You might drape your legs over a chair or on a sofa. You might put your legs up the wall if that sounds appealing. Whatever would be comfortable for you for just a few minutes to rest here. As you're coming down onto your back, just really taking a moment, taking some mindful breaths, breathing out through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Just finding a few more of those breaths, exhaling out through the mouth to really be soft and heavy and grounded. In these moments of resting, just really receiving that open-hearted awareness, right, naturally flowing through you, naturally flowing through everything. Just receiving the nourishment of that connection.